Welcome everyone. Very happy to have you all with us. My name is Joanne Dorsey and I am the Director of Communication at Origine Village. Today is the last workshop of our learnUP winter semester, which took place during the previous 4 weeks, every Wednesday at noon. learnUP is an online training program created to help Black entrepreneurs deepen their capabilities towards the digital transformation of their business. Before we start, before we start our last meeting of the series, I want to go over a few rules to make sure that our webinar runs smoothly. So first and foremost, please mute your microphone during the training. And if you are not speaking during the period question, use the chat function to ask your question throughout the webinar. We want it to be interactive as much as possible. Keep your cameras open whenever possible so that our expert guests get to see your beautiful faces. And finally, please note that the session today is recorded and we will send everything at during the afternoon, so at the end of the day. So for those who are not familiar with our organization, Origine is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the economic development of Afro-descendant people to strengthen our economy, financial and social role through technology and new models of wealth. We also want to encourage our people in our communities to invest in our economic health by buying and consuming from our Black-owned businesses through the Buy Black movement. In order to achieve this, we've put together the UP ecosystem, UP ecosystem, which is a range of initiatives such as networking events, personalized coaching, mobile application, and of course, similar to what we're having today. So as I mentioned earlier, the learnUP program is an online training. With this initiative, our goal is to provide specialized training from Black professionals and Black experts to enable entrepreneurs to take advantage of the best digital marketing, social marketing, and digital advertising tools inside and outside our ecosystem. And for now, for the main event, I'd like to introduce to you the expert for today's workshop, Afoali, which she is a video content producer and founder of the video production agency 916. Afoali, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Diane. I'm so excited to be here today with you. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. As Joanne, I keep saying Diane, I don't know what it is. As Joanne mentioned, it'd be great if I could see your faces, if you're comfortable. Because if not, I just see names on the screen and I don't know who I'm speaking with. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen whenever you're ready, Joanne.
Yes, of course, you can take control of the screen.
Perfect. Alrighty, please go ahead and type yes in the chat if you can see my screen. Perfect. So I'm super excited to be here with you all today. I'm going to be sharing how you can use your phone to start creating content for your business. We're going to be focusing on firstly, what we can learn from the current state of communication online. And then secondly, what are the impactful things you can start implementing today as a brand? I'm going to share 2 pictures on screen, and I'd like you to let me know what these 2 people have in common. So option A, they show their faces in their content. Option B, they post consistently online. So on the left, you have Ty, who maybe you know if you're in Montreal. He's a comedian. And then on the right, you have Midday Squares, which is a Montreal-based chocolate brand. So you can go ahead in the chat and let me know what you think. Is it because they show their faces? Is that what makes them similar? Or is it the fact that they all post consistently? Or all of the above? Okay, Laetitia said C, Stephanie said C, Shirley said C, Najes said C, okay. So the truth is that it's none of the above. It's actually a little bit further than that. They all create video content. And on top of that, most of the content that they create is made with their phones. If you watch Ty's videos, it's someone holding a phone. If you watch Midday Square's videos, it's someone walking around their office, around their factory, recording their employees, going through their day. Here's a quote that I read in an article by Business Insider. And when I read this specific quote, it completely shifted the way I thought about communicating online. And I'll let you read it while it's on screen. So essentially what Business Insider was saying was that they predicted that by 2021, 82% of the traffic on the internet would be going to video content. And what's interesting is this is an article that they released in 2017. Then in 2018, an application where users were only posting video content became the 4th most downloaded app in the world. Can you guess what that application was? So Joanne shared the rules. You can't unmute yourself, so you can just put it in the chat. So we got TikTok from Nadej, we got TikTok from Caroline. Scarlett also said TikTok. Bingo. And what's crazy is now we're in 2023. So you can only imagine how much more of an impact investing in video has on a business in general. On screen, you see the phrase impact over input. If you're on this call, you're probably a business owner, and the main thing you probably focus on overall when it comes to running your business is what can I do that will have the most impact with the least amount of input? And that probably is narrowed down to 2 questions, which are, what should I spend my time doing? And how should I spend my money? So when creating this webinar, I thought of what can I focus on that will bring you the most impact when you leave this webinar. And what I decided on, or what I narrowed it down on, is I'm going to be sharing with you today the fastest and easiest ways for you to use your smartphone to start creating videos. The 2 reasons why I chose that to focus on today is because 1, the stats I showed you don't lie. And by the way, that's only the tip of the iceberg. Video stats are through the roof as to how it impacts a business positively in 2023. And 2, video is what I master. And I'm someone who's only comfortable sharing the things that I know. And if I don't know something, I'll go do research before I come and share the information with people. So in a nutshell, today I'm going to be focusing on 1, showing you how to plan video content, 2, how to shoot video content, and lastly, how to edit video content. Before we begin the webinar in and of itself, I'd like you to please download the application called CapCut on your phones, because we're going to have an activity at the end where you need to have it on your phone. If you don't have it on your phone, you can scan the QR code that's on screen, or you can click the link in the chat that will take you to the Android version of the application or the Apple version of the application. Thank you, Joanne. I'll give you a moment to do that. I said I have an iPhone 6. I'm not sure I can download it. Please try. And then let me know if it still doesn't work. Thank you, Scarlett. Please put yes in the chat if you're done downloading the app or if you already have it on your phone. Amazing. Thank you, Laetitia, Annette, Catherine. Perfect. I'm guessing the rest of you who haven't put yes yet is probably because it's still downloading. So we're going to move forward in the meantime. So I mentioned that I'm focusing on impact over input. What can have the biggest impact on your business with the least amount of input? And I also mentioned that what I master, or rather what I'm aiming to master, is video. Before we get into it, I think it's important for me to give you context as to who I am and why it matters for me to be the person to share this with you, as in why should you care that I'm sharing this information. So I moved to Canada in 2014 and I had one goal in mind. I wanted to become a translator. I wanted to get my bachelor's degree in translation, but something changed the course of my education. I discovered YouTube and it piqued my curiosity. I was completely obsessed with YouTubers. And I became so obsessed that I was like, you know what? I want to try and copy them. So I got a job at a gym and I bought a camera. And what happened after that is I started making videos. I started making YouTube videos. I started making videos at events. The more I practiced, the more I posted videos, the more attention I would get as a video creator on the internet. Then in 2019, I decided to make it formal, like I'm actually a video creator, a video producer, and I started 916, which Joanne mentioned, which is a video production company. And ever since, I've worked with over 120 brands, helping them to produce different videos. But something that a lot of people don't actually know is that as I was doing 916, I had a full-time job. So I was working for one of the world's largest empowerment media companies called GoCast as a video editor and a video director. My job was to create short documentaries every 2 weeks. And over the course of 2 years, I produced videos with over 400 million views across social media platforms. In August 2022, I faced, I wouldn't say a brutal realization, but I had a moment of realization where after spending so much time helping brands create videos for themselves, but also working with one of the world's largest empowerment media companies, I realized that telling stories was a skill that was extremely important for my survival in this world in 2023. But on top of that, it was a skill that everybody worldwide needs to master, especially in a world where storytelling at scale through video is dominated by a very small number of people. And it's even more important for people that look like myself and people that look like you to be able to master this if you're trying to grow a business, whether it's a commercial business or it's a personal brand. So I decided to leave that company in August 2022 to focus on 916 and to focus on serving brands in 2 different ways: producing videos for brands, but also showing brands how they can produce their own videos. So you don't need me. I'll show you how to make a video and you are empowered to do it on your own. So back to what we're here for. For planning, I'm going to show you how to plan videos, shoot videos, and edit videos. So let's start with planning videos. Why does it matter to plan a video? Well, we could just pick up a phone and start shooting a video, right? I could pick up my phone right now, go outside, be like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing today. Or if I had a product I'm selling, I just take a video of the product. But the truth is that the backbone of any movie, any good video, any short film is writing and planning it. It makes it extremely easy for you when you're shooting it because you know exactly what it is that you're trying to create, and even easier when you're editing it because you have a goal in mind. So there's many ways in which you can plan your videos, right? But the first thing you're going to do is you need to come up with the ideas. To come up with those ideas, there's 4 different places you can get them from. 1, you can browse the internet. So go on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and see what are other people in your industry doing, or better yet, what are people in other industries doing and what are the videos they're creating? And you draw ideas from that. The second thing you can do is you can read articles, you can read books or any other written material and take ideas from that will then become videos or content in general. The next thing you can do is you can brainstorm ideas from your own personal experience. You're a business owner. Every day you probably get questions about what you do. That's video content. You're a business owner. Every day you go through different things. You have a process. That's video content. So you can simply draft ideas from that. And lastly, you can use AI to prompt different ideas of video content that you can create. And this is probably the fastest way that you can do it. You can use platforms such as ChatGPT, simply asking 25 ideas for video content on how to bake a cake. Let's say you're someone who has a bakery, and it'll generate different ideas. And those are ideas that you would use to then plan your content and then shoot your videos. Now, that was a lot of information. 4 ways for you to come up with different ideas. You have all these ideas, they're in your mind, but you can't just keep them in your mind, because 1, you'll probably forget a lot of them, but 2, you can actually track your ideas. So you're going to need a place to keep track of all your ideas. 1, this will allow you to not forget them. You'll be able to document what's my idea. You'll be able to document what inspired this idea. So when you're creating it, you can refer back to the inspiration. And lastly, you can track your progress, because the goal of tracking your ideas, but also creating content, is actually just to create them. It's not to hoard ideas. So if you can track your progress, you can see, okay, I made this video, it's done, it's shot, it's edited, this is how it performed, so on and so forth. There's different ways in which you can track your content. You can use a platform such as Notion, which is great. You can track not only your content, but a lot of different elements in your life using Notion. You can use Google Sheets. You can use a note-taking application. So on my phone, I use the Notes application, or you can use Google Keep if you're using something like an Android. And then lastly, if you use a project management tool in your business, that's also something that you can use to track your ideas and document your process as you execute on those video content ideas. AI is artificial intelligence, indeed. Thank you, Joanne. So what I'm going to be sharing right now on my screen is the exact content tracker that I use today to be able to track my ideas, track the inspiration of each idea, and then track as I actually do it. And then once I post the idea of the content, how it actually performs, so I can keep going and build my business of my personal brand, but also my video production company. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see it. Please let me know if I'm going too fast. I have a tendency to speak very fast. And if I am, I can slow down. Let me know if you can see my spreadsheet by typing yes in the chat, please. Great. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Deboha. Alrighty, so here you have the spreadsheet that I use to track all my content. I created this version in Google Sheets because I figured this is the easiest one I could share with you. Google Sheets is something that everybody has access to. So on this example, what I have here would be my content planner, video content planner for March 2023. So it starts off with the date, then I write out my video idea. So here I've brainstormed 3 different video ideas. The next thing I have is the video category, because with all content you put out on the internet, it usually has 1 of 4 goals, at least if you're doing it with a system in mind. Firstly, your content can educate people, so you're teaching people something. Secondly, it can entertain people, so it's just something fun to watch. Third, it can inspire people to act. It can inspire people to see the world from your perspective. And lastly, it can convert people who are watching your content into business customers, which is most important for you because you're a business owner. So you then I then choose the video category. Then if there's an example that inspired this video, I'd put the link to that, that piece of content. It could be an article, it could be a video. Next, I write a video script. So I actually open up another document and I write either the different shots that I'm going to get, the actual words that I'm going to say in the video. This is extremely important for me so that when I'm shooting the video, I have a plan. But on top of that, if you have a video editor, when they see this, they know exactly what it is you're trying to create and they don't have to guess. Next, I have the status of the video. So if the video idea is confirmed, so I wrote the idea, I'm like, yes, this is a video I want to create. That's what the status is. Then it can go to video script is written. So I've written out exactly what the video will be about. The video is shot, the video is edited, the video is posted. Then lastly, how did this video perform once it was posted? Then I have a column for the link of the final video, a column for when the video was posted, and then a column for where did I post this video? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Snapchat, all of the above. And then the last 3 columns are simply columns that I use to track how the video performed: number of likes, number of views, number of saves, number of comments. Rather, views, saves, comments, not likes. So this is what I use. You probably have questions for me at the end of the session, but this is a template that I made available for all of you. It's going to be in the chat. You can download it. Please just make sure to make a copy so then you can use it as you please. You can use it as is, or you can use it as inspiration for yourself when you're planning your content. And I absolutely love this GIF of Oprah, so everybody gets a spreadsheet. So we've talked about how you plan your content. Once you have your plan, it's time to shoot your video, right? Let's get into it. There's 3 elements you're going to focus on when you're creating video content. The first thing is your camera, the second thing is your lighting, and the last thing is your sound. Again, impact over input. You're going to hear this so much from me because it's low-key one of my mottos as a business owner. So what I mean by this in this specific context, when we're talking about filming your videos, creating the actual video you planned out, is start where you are with what you have. Every single one of you on this webinar has a phone. So you can start filming your videos with your phone. Every single one of you has access to natural light. Step out from your home, your apartment, wherever you are. There's a big sun in the sky that can be your light. And lastly, every single one of you can be intentional about filming your videos in a space where there's little to no noise. So if you're talking in your video, don't record it next to your friends when you're trying to have a conversation with your camera, or where there's a lot of kids. Be intentional about those things. Once again, impact over input. These are little things that will have a large impact, but very little input. You have a phone, there's sunlight outside, and just film your videos in somewhere that's super quiet. So let's start with the camera. Before I get into it, disclaimer, this is an hour of us sharing time together. So what I did here is I focused on the big ideas. What can I share with you that gets you an idea of how to get across the whole process without going too much into detail? Because if not, we'd be here for like 3 days and we don't want any of that. So the first thing you want to do when using your phone to film your videos is you want to use your back camera. The reason why people always recommend your back camera to film your videos is because most phones, the back camera has a better resolution than your front camera. That being said, phones are evolving all the time. So there are a lot of phones right now, especially the newer iPhones, where the front and the back camera have the same resolution. So you could essentially use both, but just to be safe, use your back camera. The second thing is clean your phone camera. Now, if you're a business owner, you probably don't live in a bubble. Maybe you're not the only person who touches your phone. Even if you're the only person who touches your phone, you do other things with your hand. You touch food, you touch your face. Your finger probably touches your phone camera. And before you film, just clean off the fingerprints, clean off any debris that can be on your phone, and just ensure that you have the opportunity to have the highest quality videos. The next thing you need to do to ensure that you're shooting high quality videos is activate the grid lines on your phone's camera app. So on the screen, I have instructions for iPhones and Androids as to how you can do that. Your grid lines will allow you to make sure that you're framing your videos properly. This is especially applicable for people who are filming talking head videos, meaning you're filming yourself talking to your camera, or you're filming someone else. This ensures that 1, you don't have too much space above your head. 2, you're not too close to the camera. You just make sure that you're framed in the proper manner. Joanne, can you please share in the chat a video where I show exactly how to frame your videos using the grid lines? So we've talked about filming your back camera, clean your camera, use grid lines, and now here are a few settings that you can implement on your phone to make sure that you're shooting the highest quality videos. The first thing is you want to, if possible, be shooting your videos in 4K. That is the highest resolution that most phones can shoot in. And the reason why you want to be shooting in 4K is 1, the video quality is higher, but 2, when you're editing your video, if you decide to zoom in on your video, because it's higher quality, even though you zoom in, the video quality won't drop as much as it would drop if you were filming in 1080p, which is a lower quality than 4K video. The next thing you can do in your settings is you can make sure to be shooting your videos in a high frame rate if you want slow motion videos. So we're going to take a breath because there's frame rate, there's slow motion, the 60 FPS. That's a lot of information. So the basics are when you shoot a video, a video is made up of a series of pictures. So what makes 1 second of video is many different pictures back to back. And in each photo, there's a change in the photo. So maybe it's a picture of someone running. So the first photo is them like this, and then little by little, their arm is moving, and that makes up 1 second of video. The basics is that it takes 24 frames to make 1 second of video. Now, when you see these super slow motion videos like the GIF that's on your screen right now, the way that's achieved is by having more than 24 pictures, frames per second of video. So those action movies where you see James Bond getting out the airplane, or I don't even watch these movies, like jumping out the building, all those things, these are cameras that are shooting the video in extremely high frame rates. So 240 frames per second, meaning 240 photos make up 1 second of video. And so when you're filming your videos, if you want them to be slow motion, you need to film that at a high frame rate. And with your phones, most of them, the highest it goes to is 60 frames per second. In your iPhone or in your Android, when you open the camera app, in the top right-hand corner, you can simply click on the button. On iPhone, it will go from 24 to 30 to 60. And then you can make sure it's at 60 to have slow motion videos. Great. So we know what are the settings we need to use to shoot our videos. Now, you need to put your phone somewhere, right? When you're done using the stack of books in your room, here are a few options that you can use to place your phone. So the first thing is you can simply put your phone in your hand. So you're filming a landscape video, you just hold your phone like this. You're filming a vertical video, a portrait mode video, you'll hold your phone like this. The second option you have is a tripod. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let me know if you can see it. So here we are. You put your phone on the tripod, you place it down, and then you can film your videos. And then the third option is that you can put your phone on a gimbal, which is essentially a tripod, but I like to call it as a tripod with steroids. But what it has is motors that allow you to have very steady shots when you film your videos. So those are the three options that you have. At the end of this webinar, I'll share a link where you can see all of these different things if you want to purchase them, if you don't have them. If not, you can still use your books or just use your hands. That's perfectly fine still. So you know exactly what settings to set your phone to. You know what to put your phone on to shoot your videos. I'd like to share two terms with you that are essential when creating videos, just so you understand the backbone to a certain extent of what makes a video. So the first term is called A-roll. I'll let you read the definition on screen. And essentially, an example to show you what A-roll is, you know when you're watching a documentary, and let's say the main character is in front of the camera and they're like, "Hi, my name is Sarah. I come from Montreal. I've been living here for 25 years and I have 24 brothers and sisters." Every shot that you see of Sarah on camera, that is A-roll. The next thing you have is B-roll. I'm going to let you read the definition on screen. So as you're hearing Sarah speaking, maybe the documentary editor has changed it and you see Sarah with her brothers and sisters. You see Sarah walking around Montreal. That is all B-roll. So you have A-roll, which is in the context of an interview type of video, people talking to the camera, and then you have B-roll, anything that comes to add context or make the viewer experience more immersive. So that's A-roll and that's B-roll. If you have any questions about that, hold the thought, and then you can ask them to me at the end of the webinar. So we've covered everything that covers. We've gone everything that covers the camera. So we figured out what settings you need to change on your camera, make sure to use your back camera, clean your camera, how to film slow motion videos, where do you put your camera when you're shooting, and then of course, when you're shooting the video, you have A-roll and you have B-roll. Now we're going to go into lighting your videos. When it comes to capturing the perfect image, the perfect video, the right lighting equipment can make all the difference. You can have, and there's actually someone here who has an iPhone 6. Maybe you're like, "Oh my God, my camera is so bad." It's not. You just need to master lighting and you can still get very high quality videos. So there's different ways that you can light your videos, and I have a few options that I like to share with you, 4 to be specific. The first one is natural light. As I mentioned, impact over input, go outside, there's a big sun out there, that can be your lighting. The second option is you can use a large screen. What I mean by that is you have a computer screen at home or you have a TV screen, all you need to do is set your screen to the color white, and that can serve as a light. In this space right now, to the right of my face, I have a screen that is white, and I'm just going to lower the brightness so you can see what it does as I increase the brightness. And as you can see, the right of my face is getting darker. Hopefully you saw that. Anyways, that's the second option. It's also affordable, just like the first option. The third option is using a ring light. That's something that a lot of people use, especially beauty gurus, especially people who are just starting to create content. It's great for talking head videos, and it's also very affordable. The last option is using a professional video light. That can be something like a Godox SL60W. That is the name of a brand that we'll also be sharing with you at the end of this webinar, because I'll be sharing kits of all these things that I'm mentioning. So those are 4 options of ways that you can light your videos. It's great to light your face, light your space, or light your product as a business owner. When you're watching a video, you're not only watching it, you're also listening to it. 50% of a viewer's experience is the audio. Please get a microphone, or at least go somewhere that there's no noise. So there's 3 ways you can make sure you're capturing high quality sound in your videos. If this video has audio, 1, go to a quiet place. The easiest way, impact over input. Just go somewhere where there's no noise if you have to record someone speaking. Secondly, you can just purchase a cheap video microphone off of Amazon. Most of them, they just like ask you to clip it on your shirt and then put it into your phone, or you can invest in a bit more of a professional microphone that you can put onto your phone. Once again, all 3 options work to make sure that you are recording optimal sound in your videos. So those are the 3 things that you need to focus on when shooting your videos: your camera, your lighting, and your sound. Here, I'm just going to share 4 ideas of content that you can create as a business owner that is super simple. So the first thing is you can create time lapses. A time lapse is essentially filming yourself for a very long period of time and increasing the speed of what you filmed. So people see you, I don't know, in your office, they see you at an event and you simply film a time lapse. The next thing you can film is a stop motion. A stop motion is a series of images that make up a video. I'm sure you've seen those online. The next thing you can do is you can create a vlog. The vlog can be about an event that you hosted. The vlog can be a day in the life as a business owner. The vlog can be you receiving a new piece of equipment in your business. Whatever it is, you telling a story about how you get from point A to point B in a short and concise manner for your audience as a business owner. And lastly, you can create talking head videos, meaning you're in front of the camera and you're talking to your audience. With all of these ideas, or any ideas you have, once again, focus on these 4 content pillars. Is your video educating people? Is your video entertaining people? Is your video inspiring people? Or is your video converting sales for your business? Now that we've spoken about how do you plan a video, how do you shoot a video, when you're done shooting that video, you need to edit your video. So let's edit. When it comes to editing, there's so much software out there that you can use. There's so many options, but here I'm going to be sharing 5 different options with you. So the first is called CapCut. It's the application that I shared with you in the beginning of this webinar and asked you to download. It's an application that's a sister company of TikTok. That's why it's so good, because it's created with consumers of one of the most used social media platforms online. Then there's InShot, which is an application that was created before CapCut, but does essentially the same things. Then you have TikTok and Instagram. What a lot of people don't know is you can actually just edit your videos within TikTok and Instagram. These are all platforms that want us to stay on them as long as possible. So they've added those capabilities. They're not as advanced as CapCut or InShot or Video Leap, which is the last option, but it does the job. I'm going to ask one more time before we start talking about editing, because we have an activity that we're going to be doing together. Do you have CapCut downloaded on your phone? Please comment yes in the chat if you do. Great, 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 great. If you did not, here are codes that you can scan to download it. So in order to edit something, you actually need to have videos. So I'm going to need all of you to film something real quick so that we can edit it together. And I put together a mini script. I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to be shooting it. And then we'll edit it together in CapCut. If you've never spoken on camera, we're about to do it together today. So the first video you're going to be shooting, you're simply going to have your phone on your table. I want you to pick it up, look at your phone, and say what is on screen. I'm super excited to be in a learnUP webinar by Origin Village. Today we're learning how to create videos using your smartphone or smartphones. And then you'll just say hello to everyone. This is obviously a skeleton script. You can remix it as you see fit. You can also say it in French if you're more comfortable saying it in French. The second video that we're going to be shooting, you'll stop that first video and you're simply going to record your screen and you'll say hello to everyone and everybody's just going to wave. And then we're going to edit that video together. I'm going to pause. Does anybody have any questions for me? My hands are full. With your back camera, yes. That's okay, Sue. It's okay. So Sue said, I cannot participate. My hands are full. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. If you can't do it, that's okay. But if you can, let's go ahead and do that. What you can do is mute me while you do it, so you don't actually hear me in the background, but I'm going to go ahead and do it on my end. Hear me. Go ahead and comment yes in the chat when you're done doing that. Oh, so you're baking vegan patties.
Did you say something about me?
No, Sue commented in the chat, I'm baking vegan patties. And I just expressed my excitement for her. Vega Tropical. But let me check it out. VG Tropical, I'm sorry. Oh, surely you tried them? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can do the second part, which is if everybody can open their cameras, we're just going to say hello to each other's video. If you feel comfortable with it. So remember, the second video is say hello to everyone. Yeah, so just record it using your back camera, say hello to everyone. Voila. I love seeing all your faces. I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Alrighty. Let's edit for real now. Go ahead and open CapCut, the application you just downloaded on your phone. I remember we had an iPhone 6. Were you able to download it? Please let me know in the chat. If you weren't, that's okay. Just follow along. So you're going to go ahead and open CapCut. The first thing we want to do is you want to create a project. On the screen, you can see screenshots of what you need to click to create a new project. And then you're going to select the videos we just shot and click on Add. I'm going to be doing it with you here. And if needed, I'll share my phone screen. Please comment yes in the chat if you've been able to create the new project and add the videos we just shot to your new project. Yes, thank you, Scarlett, Shirley. Great, great, great. I'm guessing everybody else has done it, but just doesn't want to put yes in the chat. Great, Nadej. Great, great, great. Annette. So the first thing you're going to do with this new project in CapCut is you're going to trim the video. This is something you would do with any video that you're creating, whether it's this one we're doing right now or in the future when you're going to be creating amazing video content after this webinar. The parts that you're going to be trimming in this video or in any video in general, actually, is based on the script that you created or the plan you have for your video. The end goal of your video will always be to educate, entertain, inspire, or convert. So you need to make sure that what you keep in your video is actually things you need. So when you're trimming, you're asking yourself, what is actually going to bring value to whoever's going to watch this video in that way? 2, what do I not need in this video that I can delete because it's not moving the story forward? It's not bringing value to my audience in that way. So I'm just going to play this video on screen. Hopefully it plays, and it shows you exactly how you can trim your video. So remember that we started the video by putting your phone down and lifting it up. You picking up your phone, it doesn't add anything to your story. So you can trim that portion of the video. If there's also any dead space, meaning any moments of silence before you started talking or right after you finished talking, you can also trim those portions of your video. Will it play? Will it play? I might just share my phone screen so you can see what I mean by trimming videos. That's great, Colleen. That's okay. I'm going to see if I can share my phone screen because the video recording I have on the presentation doesn't show up for you. Let me know if you can see my phone by commenting yes in the chat. Amazing. So let's trim the video. So firstly, I want the video of me speaking to be first. So as I mentioned, I pick up my phone before I start talking, right? So I'm just going to go all the way to where I start talking. So I know it's over there, like 9 seconds. I'm gonna go to the beginning of the video, select it, and simply drag the video from the left to the right. So I'm there, perfect. And then the video ends right there. I'm gonna do the same thing, but dragging the video from my right to my left. There are several ways of trimming videos, but for the sake of this webinar, this is how we're going to do it. So that's the first video. Go ahead and do that on your video and comment yes in the chat once that's done. And you're going to do the exact same thing for the second video. So that if there's any moments in the beginning where you're not really doing anything, you can also trim them. And in the end. Yes, Shirley, you can cut in the video. That's another way of trimming your video by simply clicking on split. That's nice and awkward. Yes, I can repeat how to trim Nadej. You can go ahead and look at my screen. So here is my video, the first video. At the end of the video, I'm going to play it. As you can see, I'm moving my phone. Those are parts that I don't need to keep in my video. So in order to trim it, one, I need to make sure that the video is selected. To know that it's selected, it will be surrounded by a white box, as you can see on screen. So now it's not selected, now it's selected. So I want to trim the video until here when I'm done speaking, right? So what I'm going to do is put my finger on the video, on the screen. So finger on screen, and then drag the video from my right to my left. As you can see, it's getting shorter. And that's it. Let me know if that, yes, Harry, you have to put both videos in the same project. Have a great meeting, Scarlett. Go ahead and comment yes in the chat if you're done trimming your video and we can move to the next step. Great. So when you're editing videos, the next thing you'll probably do is you'll add background music to make it more immersive. You'll maybe even add sound effects. For this webinar, we're just going to focus on how do you add background music to your videos. On the screen, you have 2 screenshots that show you the first and the second step. The first thing you want to do is click on add music on your CapCut app. That will be right under your video. If you don't see it, scroll to the beginning of your video and you will see add music. Once you click on add music, you'll see sounds, effects, extracted, and voiceover. For this specifically, what we want to do is add a sound. So click on sounds. And then I'll let you choose whatever sound you want to use for this video. And you can listen to the library of options that CapCut has for you. Alrighty, I'm going to share my presentation. Once you've added the sound to your video on CapCut, select the sound on CapCut and just click on volume. I want you to reduce the volume of your sound because it's probably super loud and you can't hear yourself speaking. Hi, I'm super excited to be in a webinar. Hi, I'm super. Okay. If the soundtrack is longer than your video, you can also trim your soundtrack. Comment yes in the chat if you've been able to add the background music, reduce the volume, and make sure that it's the same duration as your video. If you're having any trouble with it, please comment in the chat and I'll assist you with it. Okay, so Stephanie Denis is not able to stop the sound when my video ends. So I'm just going to share my phone screen and show you exactly how to do that. It's very simple. So here we are. I also had a soundtrack that was very long at first. As you can see, my video is done, but I still have all of this audio. So what I'm going to do is select the soundtrack. At the bottom of my screen, there's volume, fade, split. I'm going to make sure my playhead, meaning the white line on the screen, is right where the video ends, and I'm going to click on split. Then I'm going to delete all the excess soundtrack. And that's it. Okay, we're going to move forward to the next step. I'm going to be showing how you would add subtitles to a video using CapCut. This is probably something you'll be doing very often, I hope, when you're editing talking head videos. The reasons why it's important to add subtitles to your videos is because, one, not everybody can hear your audio. Over 80% of people watch audio videos without the sound on their videos. So they're just scrolling, so the audio is not on, or they're in a context where they can't have the audio on. So maybe they're actually in class, they're at work, they can't turn on your audio. Other people actually have hearing impairment and can't hear at all. Subtitles improve comprehension of your videos, especially if people don't speak the language that you're speaking in, or if you're speaking extremely fast. And lastly, your viewers are more engaged when there's subtitles on your videos. So how do you actually add subtitles to your videos? Here on the screen, there's screenshots of how to do it. The first thing you want to do is select text. Then you want to choose auto captions. And then you want to make sure to choose the language you're speaking in. I was speaking in English, but if you spoke in French, Spanish, or whatever other language, choose that language on CapCut so it knows what language to use to create the auto-generated captions. I'm going to share my phone screen and show you how I'm doing that so you can follow along. So right here, the first thing I'm going to do is click text. Then I'm going to click auto captions. I want it to be the original sound, and I'm going to click start. My version of CapCut didn't ask me for English or French or any language. Maybe yours did. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. CapCut has generated your captions. You can go ahead and edit them by changing any spelling mistakes that you may see. It is AI, it's not perfect. You can also change the color of your text. You can change the font of your text. I'm not going to get into all of that just to be mindful of time. I'm going to show you how you then can export your video once that's done. Once you're happy with your subtitles, in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see an arrow that's pointing upwards. If you click on that, that will export your video and save it on your phone. And then I'm going to invite you to do the hardest thing for most people when it comes to creating content. I'd like you to share that video and please post it on your story and tag Origin Village. So a quick recap of what we just went over together today. So we kind of established the landscape of communication online. We were reminded of how much traffic on the internet goes to video content. We then looked at what are video planning. I shared a spreadsheet with you that you can use as a template to start planning your videos. I also shared different places that you can get inspired for video ideas. So you can browse the internet, you can read articles, you can look at competitors, you can look at people in different niches. You can use artificial intelligence to generate video ideas. I then went into showing you exactly how to shoot your videos. So we looked at the camera you should use. Specifically in this context, we talked about your phone. What are the different settings that you can change on your phone to make sure you have the highest quality videos? We also talked about the lighting that you can use. We talked about the sound recording equipment that you can use. And throughout all of this, we had one North Star in mind, which was impact over input. What can you do that will have the biggest impact on your business with the least amount of input? And specifically when it comes to creating content, more specifically, video content. I know that all of this can be overwhelming when it comes to creating content online, especially video content, in a world where most people are turning on their cameras. They have all these lights. They're so comfortable on camera. If you're someone who's not comfortable creating videos, I just want you to remember one thing, or at least look at it in this way. We're just creating memories. It just so happens that we now call it content because people will figure out how to make money off of it, but you're just creating memories. And I hope it helps you take off the pressure you may feel when you're like, damn, I gotta make a video. The next thing I'd like you to remember or keep in mind is creativity is simply giving yourself permission to be curious. You see someone who created a video online, just try it out. Pick up your phone, be curious enough to want to figure out how they did it. It could be that you send them a message like, hey, how did you do this? Or you go on YouTube and you look up a tutorial on how you could do it yourself, or you just try it on your own. But at the end of the day, I hope that this webinar pushes you to want to just pick up your phone and start telling your story unapologetically, because that will change your business. I'm saying this from experience as someone who just started creating videos online and from the brands I've helped create videos. So I hope you have questions for me, or maybe you have questions for me.
Yes, we had a few questions in the chat during the editing.
Yes.
Farhadja asked, what are great ratios for audio versus music?
Like as in, what is the volume that you should have for each?
Farhadja, did you want to ask your question directly to Afoali?
Oh, yeah, sure. So, great webinar, by the way, thank you. So my question is, the ratio versus like your original sound and the music. So you don't want the music to overpower or to be too loud over your voice. So do you do like a 33% music and then 66% the original voice, or what do you recommend?
You answered the question in your question. So you don't want the music to be too loud. Now, do I have specific percentages? I don't, because it depends on the context. There's moments where you want the music to be the most important thing in the video, and there's other moments where you really want people to hear, right? When you're creating your videos, listen to it. If you're speaking and you can't hear yourself because the music is too loud, reduce the volume. If you're editing a video and you want there to be just music because it's a sequence of B-roll of an event, increase the volume. But I trust that you can use your judgment to make that decision. I personally just use my ears. I'm like, this is too loud.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
We also had a question during the editing portion from Nadej. I'm not sure if you were able to find your answer. She was asking, how do I get my music to start right when my video starts? Were you able, Nadej, were you able to find your answer? Would you like to?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Would you like us to go over and try to help you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So in CapCut, I'm just going to open up the project and put my music where it's not starting. Usually in CapCut, when you add an element to your edit, what I mean by that is you add a sound, you add a sticker, you add a photo, wherever the playhead is, and by the playhead, I'm referring to the white line that is on the screen. Right here, you see the white line that goes from the top to the bottom of my timeline? That's your playhead. So if you wanted something to be imported or put onto your video in the beginning, the first thing you can do is make sure that your playhead is there when you import it. Now it happens that it's not there. Like right now, I have my music that's starting later on in my video. In order to move it to the beginning, you simply have to select the music layer like I just did. And to know if it's a layer is selected, there'll be the white square that appears around it, as you can see on screen. I'm going to put my finger on it on screen and then just drag it to the beginning of the video. And then that's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I missed that part. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. I do have another question if there's no other on the chat. Shawan, is it Shawan?
Yes.
Yeah, can I go ahead? Okay, perfect. So thank you, Afoali. This was so amazing. And I think everything you were saying, you were calm and you were just like explaining step by step. So thank you so much. Now, my question for you is there platforms or places where you could go and create your own sounds that you could use for your video? Because I've noticed that there are some reels that I'm watching of amazing brands and I'm like, I haven't heard this. And I bet this is their own, right? So, and I don't know how they've done it. So I'm just curious if there is a place where I could go create my own sound.
By create your own sound, do you mean basically be a producer and make a song?
No, well, it's almost like an instrumental song. And when I try, like on Instagram, you have these things where you could use, like, if you see a reel, you could maybe use the template and it can also allow you to use the song, right? But for this particular brand, I couldn't because it called out the name of the brand. It's almost like it was something that they did and I couldn't use the song. And I was very curious. I was like, why can I not just use the same template and the same song? So I don't know how they did it. So that's why I was asking. I'm learning to make videos that can be produced. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how those brands specifically did it. Like anything I would share with you is what I guess they were doing, but I don't know if that's exactly what they did. They probably have a creative team, and part of the creative team's mandate when creating videos is we have a soundtrack for our campaign. And that's why you're hearing custom sounds that you've never heard before. In terms of Instagram, usually you can use someone's audio. Now, if you can't use the audio, maybe it's a limitation on your actual Instagram account, because I have an Instagram account where there's some sounds I can't use, but it's not that the creator doesn't let me, it's a limitation on my account. That aside, I'm unsure of why or how they create their sounds. I know there's like AI applications that let you create music on your own. I'm not knowledgeable on that, so I'm not gonna get into that rabbit hole. But if I had to guess, that would be my answer.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Nadej. I think Shirley had a question. You wrote it in the chat, but you also raised your hand. Did you want to?
No, I wanted to talk because it's much easier than to write down. Okay, I'm a designer. Video thing, yes, it's nice, but I use more photo than anything else. So from there, what should I do? So I know with CapCut, I could put some few picture and roll it as a video, but at the same time, I feel like it's like, you know, kind of crappy.
Why do you lean towards photos more than videos?
Because it's more visual, because I'm more into IG than TikTok. So now I'm trying to figure it out, how am I going to use TikTok? But, you know, when you're in the fashion industry, it's more visual. It's like everything, it's like what you show. So I'm used to this. So going to the video for me, it's like taking a model, go outside. I mean, it's like, it's two different things, you know?
Yeah, you don't think videos are visual?
It is visual, but like when I use a picture, otherwise I work with a photographer, or I could use also my phone. But like if I go with a video, for me, it's like I have to do it like professionally. Is that the way you say that? So that's why I feel like that's why I'm stuck and I being like this on my IG. So I was wondering, what should I do, you know?
Okay, we'll start with the photos and then we'll get back to the video. With photos, you can create slideshows. On TikTok, a new feature that they released is you just upload a series of pictures and you choose a sound. And when people click on your TikTok, the photos just like swipe. And that's a format of content that works and people enjoy. And that's something you could also create in CapCut. So the same way we just uploaded the videos, you'd upload photos and just put a transition between each one. And you have the professional photos that your photographer took of your models and your designs, just swiping. That's photo. That being said, I highly encourage you to try out videos. You mentioned that you think that they have to be professional, but what's interesting is the two examples that I shared at the beginning of this webinar were Thai and Midday Squares. If you look at their videos, they're shot on a phone. They're not super professional. If anything, videos that are less professional seem more relatable. That being said, maybe you're not trying to be relatable. Maybe your brand is luxury and it's high end. I still encourage you to try out videos. If you're someone who's like, I don't have the energy or the time, that would mean investing in someone who's good at video to come to your studio and help you film those videos. But if not, it's just a question of looking at a few YouTube videos. You create a system. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a thing where in your studio, you have a corner, you have one light, and when you have a new design, you just have a model that stands in the design and she rotates 360. Or you find a cool transition and the model just like jumps and she has a new design and like, this is our video content, it's our style. Your only goal is to find your style and be consistent with it. And then that's it. But video, I highly recommend you to try it out.
And to add, Shirley, and to add on to Afoali, just to complete what she was just saying, and just with your pictures, you can do videos for Instagram and TikTok. You're not super active on TikTok right now, but videos are also a good type of content that you could use on Instagram. So with your photos, you could maybe stitch 3-4 photos together and have a cute sound. So that's a video that you're creating using the pictures that you have. Or you can also do stop motion that is using pictures that you have. That's another type of video that you could create using photos. Stop motion is a bit not complicated, but it's a bit time consuming. But if you have pictures, there's a few video content that you can use and that you can post on your Instagram account.
What is stop motion?
Stop motion, I'll search on YouTube and I'll share in the chat an example for you.
Okay, I have 2 other questions, but it's quick. I went to my camera setting and it says, you know, you said the format, the resolution or whatever it is, the 4K and something. Me, it's IPS. What should I choose? Or I don't know. How can I?
What phone do you have?
iPhone 13, and I hate it so bad, but I have to live with it.
Tu es plus avancé que moi, Charlie. Moi, j'ai un 11 devant moi, donc on va gérer ça ensemble. So you say IPS? Comment ça IPS?
Parce que ça dit 720p HD at 30 IPS. So I feel like, huh?
No, it's FPS. FPS. C'est pas un F?
Aye.
Donc le 30, the 30 you're seeing, are you in your settings or are you in your camera application?
No, camera. It's not good?
Parfait. Just click on the number, click on the 30. It should change.
Attends. You know what? I found it. It says 4K to 24 IPS. So that's good.
So now it's 4K, but it's in
Yeah,
24 frames per second.
but it says 24, 30, or 60. So I have to choose in
Exactly.
between these three. So
Exactly.
which one should I choose?
So if you're filming a normal video, talking head or just your model, you can
Mm.
shoot it in 24, 30. Now, if you're filming a video that you want to be slow motion, then you can film it in 60. And by slow motion, I mean when you edit it in CapCut, you want to like make it slower. You want to shoot it in 60 frames per second.
Okay, the last question. I think I need your service. So how can I do that?
You can send me an email.
Okay.
And we also will share our contacts at the end and also through email. So you'll be able to follow her and go ahead and look 916's services, and she's probably going to be able to help you and your brand.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Ari, I think you had a question.
Yes, a quick question. Can you show me again the way to trim with your finger on the screen? Because I tried and then I had some difficulties.
No problem.
So when you put your finger on the selected video?
That's right.
But me, it's shredding the video.
What do you mean by shredding?
So if I have a long video, I hold my finger on the screen, it shred the video in like an icon.
It should not do that. I'm going to share my screen and show you how I do it. And
Okay.
you let me know if you see the same thing on your end.
Okay.
So here we are, and I'm going to show you an easier, maybe a way that will work better for you. So let's open a new project. Let's do this one. Yeah. So we're here. This is my video, and I want to cut everything to the left of my playhead.
Yes.
So the first option is I need to make sure that the video is selected, and I know it's selected because the video is white. You see the white box around my video?
Yes.
Now it's not selected, now it's selected. So what I can do is simply put my finger on my screen and drag it. Now the video is getting shorter, and I know it's getting shorter because as you can see, it goes from 52 seconds to 51 seconds, so on and so forth. So that's the first option, right? The second way go ahead, Harry.
Yes, okay. You put your finger anywhere?
No, you want to put your finger on the end of the video.
Okay.
It needs to be either on the beginning of the video or the end of the video. If you just put it anywhere,
Okay.
The second way you can do it is, again, make sure your video is selected. And you see at the bottom of your screen, it says split, speed, animation, all those things. If you click on split, it'll cut your video in two.
Yes, I did it with the split, but I wanted to do the first way.
Does it work now, the first way?
Let me try.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
On them saw. Yay. Did you have any other questions for me, Harry?
No, so far it's okay. I tried the caption in Creole, but it didn't work. So there was too many things to correct.
Oui, ils n'ont pas encore arrivé le niveau, mais bon.
No.
Does anyone else have questions? Please share in the chat or use your mic to unmute your mic. Still have a few minutes left to our workshop. So
yes, I have a question quickly. You said you would give us some kits and thing about the microphones.
Yes, that was shared in the chat at 1:07, but we can go ahead and share that again.
yes, in the chat, we shared a link where you can find the different tools to help you. And I think I shared something else, or is it a starting pack? for lighting. There it is. So you should have tools to help you start your video production at home.
Yeah.
Anyone else has question for Afoali before we wind up and end our meeting?
Yeah, quick question. I think, Afoali, you also mentioned that you will be sharing the sample like video tracker that you use. I'm wondering if that is going to be shared later on, or if you've shared it in the chat. I didn't see it.
It was also shared in the chat, and I'm going to share it one more time.
Okay.
There you go. And I think Billy had a question.
Not a question, maybe a comment. I love the purple in the back.
Oh, Brand.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if there's no more question for Afoali, I think we're going to resume. Thank you everyone for being here with us. Amazing, well put together presentation. So I just wanted to resume our meeting for the few people that are left with us. As I mentioned earlier, we are pro Black. We love all our Black businesses. And during the month of February, which was Black History Month, we put together a campaign where we were pushing people to buy Black during the month of February. So if you bought Black during Black History Month, please upload your receipt on our platform, Unite and Prosper. We are doing a little experiment where we mobilize the Montreal area just to see how much dollars we can help circulate within our companies. So if you bought Black during the month of February, follow us, upload your receipt, and you'll also have the opportunity to maybe win a gift bag with Black-owned products from Black-owned and businesses in Montreal. So I really hope that you enjoyed our webinar today. There's another semester that is going to be happening in the spring. So follow us for the dates and for the subjects. And lastly, yes, the meeting today was recorded, and we will send you everything later today. So thank you for being with us. Thank you, Afoali, again, and je vous dis au revoir. Bye.
One last thing, yo.
One last thing, Afoali has one last thing.
Yes, if you created the video with us, say, please share it and tag Origin Village, please.
Yes.
You're doing an amazing job with the LearnUP. Let people know that what's up.
Yeah, if you did the little workshop with us, tag us, tag Afoali, tag 916, and we'll be sure to reshare on our social media platforms. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.